Well, that was a really, really huge letdown of a game for sure, especially from the offense. Man. But I will say this. We are still 7-2. We're still a good team. The Los Angeles Chargers, they can have some really good games, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They showed that they have some really good pass rushers in there. Melvin Ingram, Joey Bosa, they are terrors as outside pass rushers. Their speed, obviously, that defense built by Gus Bradley, that comes from the Seattle style defense. That type of defense gives us problems. Gus Bradley gives our offense issues, fits, all that kind of stuff. That's all I gotta say on that. The Chargers, they came to play today. The Packers did not. The Packers absolutely did not really come to play today, save for maybe a couple players on offense and a few players on defense, which I'll mention later for my game balls. And I can't say that I can really give too many players any game balls today. But this just was a really bad performance on all facets of the game, and the Chargers were just great today. They played their Super Bowl, and huge props to the Chargers for coming in today with a great game plan. They executed to perfection. Philip Rivers always seems to have his way. He can take this defense and he can turn it into one of the worst defenses in the league. This is one of the things that was my main concern going into this game, was stopping Philip Rivers and that passing attack. We couldn't do it. And that was one of the big reasons why we lost, besides the lackluster performance on the offense, and particularly the offensive line. It got taken to school today. Even Brian Bulaga had a bad game, but of course that hand injury didn't help things very much. David Bakhtiari got beat by Joey Bosa several times, especially on inside stunts. He got him today, and just a really, really bad offensive performance in general, except for two players, which I'll mention. The best thing to take away from this loss is that all the other teams in our division lost today, so it kind of offsets everything. So this is not really a big deal, and plus this was also a non-conference loss, so this is not going to affect anything in terms of the playoffs. But going forward, we're going to have to take a look at ourselves on defense and be able to figure out some way to be able to stop both the pass and the run, as we are pretty lackluster in both areas, and in the points category starting to go up. I know that we were 9th in points allowed a few weeks ago, but I'm pretty sure that giving up 26 points today to the Chargers definitely upped it up a little bit more, and we just need to get better on defense in order to be able to do something in the playoffs. And the fact that we didn't do anything at the trade deadline shows that we are still going to be lackluster on defense unless something changes with game planning, with what Mike Pettin wants to do with our guys, with whatever we have. I still felt like we needed to make a trade for a defensive lineman. Particularly, I was eyeing Leonard Williams, and the fact that we didn't get Leonard Williams wasn't going to be a huge effect on our defense, but I thought he was going to be some help, even if just for half a season. And I certainly would have liked to have had Leonard play into the rotation on our defensive line, as we have pretty much average defensive linemen. I'm talking about Lancaster and Lowry. Kenny Clark is probably our only player that's really above average in terms of overall play. That's all I'm going to say on that. With all that said, the game balls go to these three guys, and the first two are offensive players. The first one will go to Aaron Rodgers. He didn't have a very great game in terms of stats, and I'll put the stats up for Aaron right up here. And the second game ball goes to Davante Adams. He was the only player on offense aside from Aaron that came to play today. He didn't really do a whole lot of anything spectacular on his return back from turf toe injury. He did catch a couple passes, and he definitely didn't look like his old self, but I thought he played well enough. He was the only receiver that really consistently got open and caught some passes for Aaron. And the third and final game ball, I think I'll give this one to Tramon Williams, actually, because he was the only corner that really seemed to has been consistently playing well for us. Jair today was not very good today. He gave up a few. He gave up a few. He got beat a couple times. Once by Keenan Allen, and then he got beat deep by Mike Williams today. So I guess if there's anyone on defense that deserves a game ball, it's probably either him or Preston Smith. I thought Preston had a pretty decent game today. He got a sack today. But I think I'll give it to Tramon Williams because Tramon has been a consistent player for us, so I'm going to give it to him today. With all that said, this is just kind of a game to just kind of forget about it, move on, and we'll just focus on going back to Green Bay with a bounce-back game, and we take on the Carolina Panthers with a good game plan and actually showing up to the game. I think we can come out victorious against the Carolina Panthers, who are fairly average, but who knows what team can show up from week to week. So I think I'll catch you guys later for another video. Go Pack Go.